Do you guys think we'll ever be able to transfer our consciousness into a machine?
Yeah. When you die, when you go into the afterlife, and maybe you transfer your consciousness, like you wipe out all your memories, and then you start afresh.
Would it be able to grow?
Do you guys think we'll ever be able to transfer our consciousness into a machine?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Or into a
Another person.
not another person, but like just into a machine and then live through that. Like basically we are mind transfer basically, but not really mind transfer, consciousness transfer, body to body or body to machine, and then live as that being. Will that being still be you when you're transferring your consciousness from Apur's body to that machine or to that other person? Is that person you, or is this person you? Once you've transferred the consciousness, get it?
So am I the consciousness thing?
Yeah. How? What is you? Basically, is this the body? Is it the mind? Is it the consciousness? Is it the soul? What is it? What
What
makes
am
you?
I? What am I?
Because bro, at this point you can transplant literally anything on the fucking planet. You can transplant your heart. You can transplant your eyes. You can transplant every body part other than the brain. You can transplant everything else. You can chop off every piece in your body and replace it with a machine, and you are still you apparently, right?
Have you guys seen this? Sorry, off topic हो रहा है. This show, Love, Death and Robots.
No,
Love,
no,
Death and Robots,
no
nahi.
idea.
So there's this animated show. It's an animated anthology series on Netflix. So there was this episode of Zima Blue. I'll narrate you the plot short way. So this journalist is going to visit this huge artist, and it's a very, I don't know, how do I say it? It's multiplanetary world जहाँ पे like humans are across all of these planets and what ये dystopian sort of you could say. And this artist is hugely famous. So she narrates that he started as a small, but he felt that while painting portraits, he wasn't getting the same satisfaction. So he wanted to paint something bigger. So he started painting moons, stars, space, and space ki paintings. Like he started growing bigger and bigger. So canvas used to be huge. But after a point, there was he started putting a dot in the middle that was of the color blue, like a light blue, but the color was called Zima blue.
Okay.
And there, after the painter's name, then after not sure the painter's name, but the color was called Zima blue. And as further वो paint करते गया over the years, that dot grew bigger in his paintings. मतलब if he made this painting now, next painting में that dot or square will be bigger. And after a point, he finally unveiled this entirely blue canvas. And maybe it was a very stupid thing, maybe it was a huge piece of art.
Yeah.
Now he wanted that journalist to come in and interview him because she wanted to get an interview with him for many years. And they are living in a time when you can replace your body parts with machine parts. And that guy has gone through as every जो भी rotten part होता था उसकी body का has replaced it with machines.
Yeah.
So finally he calls her and she's like, what are you going to unveil today? She's like, and he starts narrating his story. There was this really old woman who used to live in this city and this place at this time. And she was very, into robots and stuff. So, and she, for every menial task, she used to create a robot. So for cleaning the pool, she created this robot, but she wasn't very satisfied with how it was cleaning the pool. So she added more stuff to it. And when she died, from owner to owner, that machine went, and they started adding components and more intelligence, and it grew more aware.
Okay.
And became me. And finally, when he's about to unveil his final art, वो पूरा pool construct करवाता है from the Zima blue tile, and he narrates that the pool that I used to clean, उस tile का नाम था Zima blue. And finally, he takes this final dive and dismantles himself and becomes that pool cleaning machine again.
Fuck.
Oh bhai. Oh bhai.
Oh, damn.
So that's what reminded when you said if we start replacing parts of ourselves with machines, or if we transfer our consciousness to the machines, will it still be us? That's what came to my mind.
Damn.
Bro, I can't speak only now. This stops everything now in the podcast.
Crazy. What's the show's name?
Love, Death and Robots. If like some of the episodes are very trashy also, but it's from David Fincher,
Oh damn!
and Tim Miller, the director of Deadpool and director of Fight Club, Seven Gone Girl and stuff.
Oof. Damn. Crazy. But Apur, what about you? I'm actually curious about your thoughts. What do you think?
Trashy. Completely
इसको
trashy.
top नहीं करना, but तेरे मन में what do you ever think?
Yeah,
be
also
able
transferring
to-
of consciousness.
Do you think your mind transfer? Do you think that's possible ever?
I think like when you said now what is you, I do feel that you are consciousness. I mean, literally the existence. You remember last podcast you said you are not your mind or your
Yeah,
body.
yeah,
That like stuck with me, right?
Yeah.
And I thought, it makes sense. What I'm not saying, like you are the consciousness, and maybe when you go out, like when you die and you move on to the afterlife, maybe you get projected to another human. Maybe you are like going to another baby, and then you start afresh. What if you like when you die, when you go into the afterlife, and maybe you transfer your consciousness, like you wipe out all your memories, and then you start afresh. Like it's like you don't remember anything.
Yeah.
But it's just the transfer of consciousness.
Yeah, it's just
from
transfer of
one-
energy or consciousness or your soul, and without any memories. But like, so you basically.
I don't believe in it, but because it's kind of like very, I'm not anyone who can say like, consciousness hone wala and all that stuff. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying like, if it's possible, na bro, if like there's transfer of consciousness, like there's gonna be science will go like decades. Like itna jo advance hone wala hai if we find out there is transfer of consciousness. Bro, then if there is transfer of consciousness, like I mean, I would want to like transfer my consciousness.
Would you want to transfer your consciousness and be immortal for like ever?
Another question. Okay.
Because if you're talking about transferring your consciousness, see if we like I'm talking about hypothetical scenario work, but if you transfer your consciousness to the machine, your body could die a very meaningful death and still go on to live forever. Like your mind.
Yeah, true.
And it would still be a very meaningful and beautiful death that gives your life meaning. And then after death, you still go on to live. But transferring consciousness, you're basically replicating it. So so maybe you have made all of these past decisions. You have these character traits, this amount of humor, this amount of anger, this amount of emotions, and this is how you would react to a certain scenario. After the transfer, you have worldly knowledge. Suppose if it can gather all the intelligence in the world, would it be able to grow? Because from birth to death, you grew. Like your choices from circumstances, of course, it will learn and enhance. But would it learn the same way as you did with your life?
Oh, nice. Now I understood. मैं थोड़ा time लगा processing में.
But don't you think if you continue living as that machine, as you're saying, and you continue making mistakes, you continue learning from those mistakes, you continue meeting new people, gaining your knowledge, in a way you still are growing, not physically. Your body is not growing, but this
It's
is.
not the same you, I feel.
So you think
It's
that
just a replica version of you. It's not you.